Grealish. Grealish! Yes!
And again. In the goal!
So, what an incredible year it has been this season. And it all comes down to Monday. Villa versus Derby County. And this is going to be my preview and sort of thoughts on the game coming up. Because, to be honest, it's going to be quite a topsy-turvy game, to be honest. As you've seen, it's been some of the most incredible year this season. And even before Monday, I wanted to give you my honest opinion on the season as well. So it isn't tinted by the outcome. So it's been a phenomenal year. We've had highs, we've had lows, we have mediocre performances and incredible performances. There's some of my favourite moments from this season. The Andre Green goal as well, but I didn't want to add that in because the footage isn't great. As with the Hurrah one against West Brom as well. But yeah, it's just what a year it's been. And I just wanted to say quickly before this starts, I'm not good at being soppy particularly, but I just wanted to thank you all very, very much for the support this season. It means an awful lot to me. You know, for the end of the season, I was aiming for about 70 subscribers, and we've got over double that. We're at 170 subscribers at the time of making this video, which is simply unbelievable. And, you know, every single person out there who subscribed and watched one of my videos, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. But anyway, enough of that soppy stuff now. We'll actually talk about the season in its, you know, full, and then we'll go on to next, the Villa versus Derby County game. So, it started off quite poor, to be honest. Wins against Hull City and Wigan at home. Obviously, the first vlog on my channel, which had the Bjarnason winner in there and things like that. The late goal. It was a great day to start my year at Villa Park, to be honest. 1-0 up, got 2-1 down, won the game 3-2 with a last-minute winner. It had everything, highs, it had lows, which for that, great start. It went quite downhill, draws against Reading and Ipswich afterwards were, you know, particularly memorable. James Chester sending off against Reading, which I was particularly frustrated about. And then really, it didn't pick up. And then thumpings by Sheffield United. Afterwards, even a loss to QPR, particularly on the run until Christmas, was pretty poor. But we did beat Birmingham City during that run. Alan Hutton, the Scottish Cafu, scored an absolutely unbelievable goal in front of the Holte End. The West Brom game I didn't make a video on, but it was quite topsy-turvy as well, in the sense that we really should have won that game and we were robbed. But it all comes down to now, revenge is so sweet, as the playoff semi-final showed you. But particularly the run up till Christmas was pretty poor for us, to be honest. Filled with a lot of draws, and we sat 8th in the table. We started off with more of the same after Christmas, although we did start pretty well on Boxing Day with a 1-0 win against Swansea City, but draws against Preston, QPR and Hull in the next 5 games, plus a 3-0 defeat to Wigan Athletic. Really showed our dip in form. And obviously, I forgot to mention as well, we changed managers just before the Queen's Park Rangers game, which we lost 1-0 after we drew 3-3 with Preston North End. Anyway, so pretty poor start to the year, picking up just 5 points from our next 4 games, leaving us down in 13th position at the time. And then a draw with Hull City, 2-2, in which we went 2-0 down. But we got a much-needed win against Ipswich, where we won 2-1 after 2 goals from Tammy Abraham. We drew 0-0 with Reading after Tyrone Mings' stab on the Reading player, I can't remember his name. And then there was another big game, and which for me I think was a turning point, in which we drew 3-3 with Sheffield United. Now, we went 3-0 down in that game, a hat-trick from Billy Sharp, although the second goal was quite controversial. We then pulled it back to 3-1 with a Tyrone Mings header, and then 3-2 the Tammy Abraham tap-in, and then 3-3 with an Andre Green header.
Yes!
reminder of what the header was like. Now, that game I think showed a lot of character and a lot of fight in us. And at that point, I think we were around 11th, 12th in the table. And we were sitting pretty badly. It was a must-win game, that one. Except for the fact that we went on a 10 winning streak, which nobody expected. We also lost 1-0 to Brentford, which was my first ever live stream, so pretty monumental for me. Neil Mopai scored from outside the box right at the end. We lost 2-0 to West Brom, which was probably the toughest defeat I had to face. Because there was no controversy in it, no nothing, we were just poor. We drew 1-1 with Stoke City afterwards, and then came the huge run. We beat Derby County, Birmingham City, Nottingham Forest, Middlesbrough, Blackburn, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, Bristol, Bolton and Millwall in those run. Derby County and Blues are the ones that I really want to highlight. Derby, 4-0 drubbing by half-time. We left it at that. Blues was the 1-0, which was, I think, our biggest win of that run. Forest was a pretty big win as well, a 3-1 victory. That was another live stream. Middlesbrough was a pretty straightforward game. Blackburn was a pretty straightforward game. Sheffield Wednesday was another stream, which is where the Oh My Days came from. Rotherham, I think, was alongside Blues, probably our toughest. After Tyrone Mings was sent off and we went 1-0 down, but we battled back. Bristol City, pretty tough game as well. Bolton Wanderers, that was a pretty tough, that was pretty straightforward, actually. Millwall, they didn't particularly cause us any problems. Leeds was very controversial, and if you want to hear about it in more details, I think I've got a link in the description of the live stream that I did, in which we sort of sum things up. And then Norwich, if you watch the talk at the end of the Norwich game, you'll see how really that one didn't bother us particularly. So, on to our opponent, Derby County, for this playoff final. So, they started off pretty rocky, as Aston Villa did. They lost their first 3 games, not picking up a point. But then they did win 4 on the bounce to pick up 12 from their first 7. Also, memorably, before Christmas, they managed to knock out Manchester United in the Cup on a penalty shootout. They beat West Brom 4-1. They beat Blues 3-1. They lost 3-0 to us at one point in the season as well. Just sort of going through some of their memorable points. They lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. They drew 0-0 with Nottingham Forest in their derbies. They beat Rotherham 6-1, which was bigger than any win we got this season. They beat Southampton on penalties, and they beat Norwich City by 4-3. So Derby are definitely, and then they beat West Brom on the last day of the season. So they are definitely a force to be reckoned with. They're going to be playing very, very good football. They're a very flashy side, players like Mount, Wilson, Marriott, very key players, and they are got a very young attacking force, just as Aston Villa do. And realistically, it's going to be a very gargantuan tie in the FA Cup final at Wembley. So, if you look at form against each other, Villa have easily got that. We've got a 7-0 aggregate lead against them, a 4-0 win at Villa Park, and a 3-0 win at Pride Park, with an outstanding free kick from Conor Hourihane and a beautiful volley from Jack Grealish being the most memorable moments. John McGinn also scored a header, which was mental, at Pride Park. So in head-to-heads against Derby this season, we've come out on top, and we seem to be a little bit of a bogey team for them, because they've beat us just 1 in their last 10 attempts, and we've won 6 of those 10, so drawing 3. On the other hand, though, they had an arguably as tough, if not tougher, semi-final than Aston Villa did. They played Leeds United, and obviously that had a lot of tension, and almost as if it was a derby, because of the whole Spygate situation, which I'm not going to go into because I don't fully understand, to be honest. I know Bielsa was spying on people, but whatever. And obviously we had a West Midlands derby. I think Leeds are a better team than West Brom, and that's not biasy. I just categorically think they are. With the Midlands derby, I thought added a little bit more of the heat and the tension, but Spygate makes 2 mouth-watering ties, and they were the pick of the 2 ties, to be honest, for all the games. I think a Villa derby potentially, West Brom derby potentially could have been an entertaining one, because there were West Brom fans quite outraged over a potential dive on the last day of the season. And obviously a Villa Leeds game as well would be huge after what happened at Ellen Road. But there were 4 very, very interesting teams in the playoffs this year. But I think these were the 2 ties you wanted from a neutral point of view, but not the ones that we wanted. But we and Derby both came out on top. Now, We managed to scrape through on penalties, and admittedly, as I've said, we should have got through a lot earlier. 30 minutes straight of bombardment attack on West Brom, and we still couldn't find a breakthrough. They were down to 10 men. If you want to know more on that game, obviously there's a video for it as well. But to be honest, I think it's their tie, the second leg when they won 4-2, I think was a much bigger win for them. Obviously, we managed to scrape through in the Midlands derby, but I think they styled it out against Leeds, putting 4 past them, which I don't know whether... There aren't many sides this season who have done that. West Brom, one of them. Aside from that, I don't think I really know. But look, it's going to be an absolutely huge fixture between the two of us. I'm going to go for my prediction, which, to be honest, might change on Monday if I can remember what I'm saying. But currently, my gut feeling is telling me it's going to be a 3-1 Villa victory. I can see John McGinn getting on the score sheet. I can see Jack Grealish getting on the score sheet. And I can see Tammy Abraham scoring in what will probably be his final game in an Aston Villa shirt. And I can also see Jack Marriott grabbing a goal for Derby County. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I'm probably going to be doing, by the time this video comes out, I'll probably have done a stream / be doing a stream. So just obviously let me know. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing. There probably won't be as much content after the playoff final. I might be able to do some Nations League type videos, but aside from that, there might not be many. But anyway, that's how it goes for a football vlogger. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you at Wembley.